Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow morning, and before you even touch your phone, you get one message. You have 24 hours to fix your life, or nothing will ever change again. No second chances. No, I'll start Monday. No, I just need more time. Just one day. At first, it sounds unrealistic, dramatic, almost like a movie. But if you think about it for a second, it reveals something uncomfortable. Because deep down, you already know there are a few things in your life that need to change. Not everything, not your entire personality, just a few things. The problem is you keep delaying them, and your brain has gotten very good at helping you delay. You tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow, and tomorrow feels safe. Tomorrow feels like a promise. But tomorrow is also the biggest lie your brain keeps telling you, because tomorrow is not a real day. It's a psychological escape. It's a place where your brain sends all the difficult things so you don't have to deal with them today. And the scary part is, it works. You feel better in the moment, relieved, like you've handled the problem. But nothing actually changes. And slowly, your life stays exactly the same. Not because you're lazy, not because you don't want success, but because your brain is wired to avoid discomfort. Your brain doesn't care about your goals, it cares about keeping you safe. And safe doesn't mean successful. Safe means predictable, familiar, easy. So every time you try to change something, your brain starts negotiating. Let's not do it today. Let's think about it more. Let's prepare first. Let's wait for the right mood. And without realizing it, you agree, again and again, until weeks turn into months and months turn into years. And one day you wake up and realize you didn't ruin your life in one big decision. You slowly delayed it, one small excuse at a time. Now here's where things get interesting. Because if you actually had only one day to fix your life, your brain would stop negotiating. You wouldn't sit there overthinking. You wouldn't scroll for hours. You wouldn't watch another how to be productive video. You would act immediately, because suddenly time is no longer unlimited. And when time becomes limited, clarity appears. You instantly know what matters. You instantly know what's been holding you back. You instantly know what you've been avoiding. It's almost like your brain becomes honest for the first time. So the real question is not, what should you do? You already know that. The real question is, why haven't you done it yet? Think about that for a second. There's probably one thing in your life right now that if you fixed it, everything else would get easier. Maybe it's your sleep. Maybe it's your phone addiction. Maybe it's a relationship that drains your energy. Maybe it's avoiding your work. Maybe it's constantly overthinking instead of taking action. You don't have 10 problems. You have one or two problems repeated every day. And because they're repeated, they feel normal. That's how your brain traps you. It turns dysfunction into routine, so you stop questioning it. You accept it. And then you wonder why your life feels stuck. Now imagine again, you only have 24 hours. You wouldn't try to fix everything. You wouldn't build a perfect routine. You wouldn't reinvent your personality. You would go straight to the biggest leak in your life, and you would close it immediately. Because fixing one major problem creates more impact than starting 10 small habits. This is where most people get it wrong. They try to add new habits without removing the things destroying them. It's like trying to get fit while eating junk food every day, or trying to focus while your phone is always in your hand, or trying to feel peaceful while staying in a toxic environment. It doesn't work, because your life is not just built by what you do, it's built by what you allow. And if you had one day, you would stop allowing what hurts you. You would remove it, not reduce it, not manage it, remove it. Because when something is truly urgent, you don't negotiate with it, you eliminate it. And that's the mindset most people never enter, because they always believe they have more time. Now here's another thing that would change if you had one day. You would stop preparing. Most people are addicted to preparation. They plan, they research, they organize, but they don't act because preparation feels productive, but it's actually a form of avoidance. It gives you the illusion of progress without the discomfort of action. But if you had only one day, you wouldn't prepare. You would move. You would take that action you've been avoiding. You would send that message, start that project, apply for that opportunity, have that difficult conversation. Because suddenly, doing it badly is better than not doing it at all. And this is a huge psychological shift because fear doesn't come from action, it comes from hesitation. The longer you wait, the bigger the fear becomes. But the moment you act, even if it's messy, the fear starts shrinking. That's how your brain works. It's not logical, it's emotional. It exaggerates uncertainty and avoids it at all costs. But once you face it, it realizes this isn't as dangerous as I thought. And then it relaxes. Now think about your environment. Right now, your environment is shaping your behavior more than your motivation ever will. If your phone is always near you, you will use it. If distractions are everywhere, you will get distracted. If your space is chaotic, your mind will feel chaotic. This is not a discipline problem. It's an environment problem. And if you had one day, you wouldn't rely on willpower. You would redesign your environment. You would remove everything that pulls you in the wrong direction and make the right actions easier. Because your brain always chooses the easiest path. So instead of fighting your brain, you guide it. You make the good choice the easy choice. And suddenly, change feels natural, not forced. Now here's the most powerful part of all of this. If you truly had one day, you would stop seeing yourself the same way. You wouldn't say, I'm trying to fix my life. You would say, this is who I am now. Someone who takes action immediately. Someone who doesn't delay. Someone who handles problems instead of escaping them. Because identity is everything. Your actions follow your identity. If you see yourself as someone who procrastinates, you will keep procrastinating. If you see yourself as someone who takes action, you will start acting, even when it's uncomfortable. And that's the real transformation. Not habits, not routines, identity. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. You don't actually need a full day to change your life. Most life changes happen in a moment, a decision, a shift, a line you decide not to cross again. But you keep delaying that moment because your brain keeps telling you there's still time. But what if there isn't? What if this is it? What if the life you want is just on the other side of one uncomfortable decision, and you've been avoiding it this whole time, not because you can't do it, but because you keep waiting to feel ready? Here's the truth. You will never feel fully ready. Confidence doesn't come before action, it comes after. Clarity doesn't come before action, it comes from action. Everything you're waiting for is created by doing the thing you're avoiding. So waiting is actually the thing keeping you stuck. And once you understand this, everything changes. Because now you realize it's not about fixing your entire life in one day. It's about removing the illusion that you have unlimited days. Because that illusion is what's been holding you back. So here's a simple challenge. For the next 24 hours, act like this is your only chance. Not in a dramatic way, in a focused way. Pay attention to every moment you feel like delaying something. Every time your brain says later, that's your signal. That's the exact moment you need to act, because that's where your life is being decided. Not in big plans, not in perfect routines, but in small moments of decision. Do you act or do you delay? That's it. And if you start choosing action, even in small things, you will feel something shift. You will feel more in control, more clear, more confident, because you're no longer escaping your life, you're facing it. And that changes everything. So the question is not whether you can fix your life. You can. The question is, will you stop delaying long enough to actually do it? Because at the end of the day, your life doesn't change in a year. It doesn't change when you feel motivated. It doesn't change when everything is perfect. It changes in a moment when you decide, I'm done waiting. And for once, you actually mean it.